I am King Charles, by the grace of God, Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, King of Spain, and ruler of vast territories that spanned continents. I was born on February 24, 1500, in the city of Ghent. My parents were Philip the Handsome, Duke of Burgundy, and Joanna of Castile, known as Joanna the Mad. Through my father, I inherited the rich and powerful Burgundian territories, and through my mother, I became heir to the crowns of Castile and Aragon, including their overseas empire. As Holy Roman Emperor, I carried the weight of a title steeped in history and aspiration. Though my empire was far removed from ancient Rome, it sought to uphold the ideals of unity and order that Rome once represented. The fall of Constantinople in 1453, a mere generation before my birth, marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, which many regard as the true continuation of the Roman legacy. Yet, with the collapse of Byzantium, the mantle of Rome's spiritual and imperial heritage shifted westward. The Holy Roman Empire, while different in scope and structure, stood as a symbolic successor to Rome's grandeur. As its emperor, I embraced the challenge of uniting Christendom, defending its faith, and preserving the vision of an enduring, universal empire. At just 15 years old, I ascended the thrones of Spain, becoming Charles I of Spain. By 1519, following my grandfather Maximilian's death, I was elected Holy Roman Emperor, becoming Charles V. I ruled over a dominion where the sun truly never set, stretching from Europe to the Americas. I led numerous campaigns, both military and political, to secure my vision of a Catholic and united empire. In Italy, I waged war against King Francis I of France, my lifelong rival. The Italian wars saw battles of immense scale, including the pivotal Battle of Pavia in 1525, where my forces captured Francis himself. Through these conflicts, I secured my dominance over Italy and established Spain as a leading European power. To the east, I confronted the formidable Ottoman Empire under Suleiman the Magnificent. Suleiman's forces threatened Christendom, and I fought to halt their advance in Hungary and the Mediterranean. My fleet, under the command of my loyal Admiral Andrea Doria, secured key victories, but the threat of Ottoman expansion remained a persistent challenge. The Protestant Reformation, sparked by Martin Luther in 1517, tested my resolve as emperor. I convened the Diet of Worms in 1521, where Luther was declared an outlaw. Despite my efforts to defend the Catholic faith, the schism in Christendom grew, leading to decades of religious conflict within my empire.
Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor and King of Spain, ruled one of the largest empires in history during a tumultuous period of religious conflict, territorial expansion, and dynastic rivalry. His reign, spanning from 1519 to 1556, marked a critical era in European history, influencing politics, religion, and global exploration. Emperor Charles V was born in 1500 in Ghent, modern-day Belgium, the son of Philip the Handsome and Joanna of Castile. Through his lineage, Charles inherited an unprecedented collection of territories, including the Habsburg lands in Austria, the Low Countries, Spain, and its burgeoning overseas empire in the Americas. Charles's ascension to power made him a ruler of diverse and often fractious lands. His nobility was rooted in his ability to navigate the complex relationships between the various regions under his control. He relied heavily on the loyalty of local elites, granting titles and privileges to secure their support. His court was a melting pot of European nobility, reflecting the multicultural nature of his empire. Despite his noble heritage, Charles faced constant challenges from powerful figures like Francis I of France and Martin Luther. His ability to balance diplomacy and military action was crucial to maintaining his position as Holy Roman Emperor. One of the defining conflicts of Charles's reign was the Italian Wars, a series of battles between France, the Holy Roman Empire, and various Italian states. Charles's main rival was Francis of France, whose ambitions in Italy clashed with the emperor's. The sack of Rome in 1527 stands as one of the most infamous events in European history, marking a dramatic episode in the Italian Wars. This catastrophic event, in which troops of Emperor Charles V ransacked the Eternal City, symbolized the shifting power dynamics in Renaissance Italy and the unintended consequences of Charles's military campaigns. On May 6, 1527, the imperial army breached the city's defenses after a brief siege, in which the leader of the soldiers, Charles, the Duke of Bourbon, was killed early in the assault, leaving the army leaderless and further exacerbating the chaos. What followed was a period of brutal anarchy. The sack left Rome in ruins, with an estimated 45,000 citizens killed or displaced. Survivors faced famine, disease, and economic devastation. Many of the city's artistic treasures were lost or irreparably damaged. Charles's reign coincided with the peak of Spanish exploration and conquest in the Americas. Conquistadors such as Hernán Cortés and Francisco Pizarro expanded Spanish territory by subjugating the Aztec and Inca empires. These conquests brought immense wealth to Spain, bolstering Charles's resources, but also creating administrative and logistical challenges. The Schmalkaldic War was another critical conflict that broke out during the reign of Charles V, pitting him and his Catholic allies against the Schmalkaldic League, a coalition of Protestant princes and cities. This war, fought between 1546 and 1547, was a key episode in the broader struggles of the Protestant Reformation and the emperor's attempt to maintain Catholic unity in his realm. By the Protestant Reformation, sparked by Martin Luther's 95 Theses in 1517, several Lutheran princes and cities formed the Schmalkaldic League to defend their religious and political interests. The League sought to protect Protestant territories from imperial interference. On the other hand, Emperor Charles V, as a devout Catholic, was committed to preserving the unity of the Catholic Church within his empire. However, his efforts to resolve the religious divide through diplomacy and councils failed. By the mid-1540s, Charles decided that military action was necessary to subdue the Protestant territories and restore Catholic orthodoxy. The Schmalkaldic War began in 1546. Charles V was supported by his brother, Ferdinand of Austria, as well as Catholic princes, including Duke Maurice of Saxony, who switched allegiance from the Schmalkaldic League in exchange for territorial promises. This defection significantly weakened the League. The decisive moment of the war occurred on April 24, 1547, at the Battle of Mühlberg, where Charles V, commanding a combined imperial and Spanish force, defeated the Schmalkaldic League. Following the victory at Mühlberg, Charles V appeared to have restored Catholic dominance within the empire. He imposed the Augsburg Interim in 1548, a provisional religious settlement that maintained Catholic doctrine, but allowed some concessions to Protestants, such as clerical marriage and communion in both kinds. In a dramatic turn of events, Maurice of Saxony, who had aided Charles during the war, revolted against him in 1552. This rebellion, supported by France, forced Charles to flee Innsbruck and negotiate the Peace of Passau, which granted greater religious freedoms to Protestants. The Schmalkaldic War marked the beginning of the end for Charles V's ambitions to create a unified Catholic empire. Weary from years of conflict, he abdicated in 1556, dividing his vast territories between his son, Philip II of Spain, and his brother, Ferdinand I, who became Holy Roman Emperor.